Today on Monkey Life. Concerns for chimp Jester who has a lump on his jaw, having previously undergone surgery for a mass on his lip.
For it to come back and to feel like you're a bit helpless, it has been really tough for all the PCS here.
Lemurs, Fennel and Ben trial life with the guenons, but youngster Biff proves a bit full on.
She doesn't want to challenge them, she doesn't want to attack or fight, it's just a bit of fun and game for her.
And a prickly treat of blackberries for marmosets Sid and Leo. Monkey World in Dorset, buried deep in the English countryside, is the largest sanctuary of its kind on the planet. The team, led by Dr. Alison Cronin, rescue and rehabilitate abused and unwanted primates from all over the world.
Anything could happen. You really have to have an open mind.
The park provides a home for more than 250 primates from 24 different species. At the Bachelor Chimp enclosure, Sean, from the primate care staff, is busy putting out breakfast while the group wait impatiently in the tunnel system connecting their house to the outside. They've already worked out Sean has something unusual planned for them this morning. He's loaded down with barrels and is securing them around the enclosure. The chimps can see him at work, but can't see what the barrels conceal. Hidden inside are seeds, nuts and popcorn, trapped inside pillowcases and browse. They'll have to put their thinking caps on to work out how to reach the goodies. The Bachelor group are well established, and Seamus, who's 26, is the youngest member of the community. Some of the older chimps are experiencing health problems. And this morning, Sean plans to keep a close eye on Jester, one of the oldest, not just in the group, but at the park. He's 44 years old and is being treated for type 2 diabetes.
The extra challenge we have with Jester is he's always been massively afraid of needles, but we thought we'd start small with a smaller needle and see if that would work so we're not hurting him. And yeah, thankfully that seems to be paying off and he's a bit more cooperative with our BG test now. And we are seeing that his blood glucose there, it's definitely high, but it's not off the charts high, and it seems bringing it down, so yeah, fingers crossed we can resolve that.
But much more worrying for the team is a lump which has developed under Jester's jaw. A few years ago, he had a tumour on his lip and needed surgery to remove it. Although the operation was successful, the team monitor him closely, looking for any signs the cancer may have come back. This new lump is causing concern. Surgery at this stage of Jester's life would be a last resort and might prove too much for him.
For it to come back and to feel like you're a bit helpless, it has been really tough for all the PCS here. But like I said, for now, he's happy. He's still Jester for the moment, and we just gotta enjoy the fact we still had some extra time with him and enjoy what time left we have.
Jester isn't the only chimp Sean and the team are concerned about. A few months ago, they discovered Butch was suffering from a heart condition. They've been relieved to see a remarkable transformation in his well-being, thanks to medication.
It's just completely turned him around so quickly, and he's gone back to just being Butch now. I mean, definitely, you can tell he's an old man. Like, you can see he's a bit stiff on his legs, and some of the fingers don't quite bend anymore with his arthritis. But he's the same old Butch. He goes around, he can be silly and playful with some of the others. He can just randomly wallop them, and they won't really do anything back to him because it's Butch. He does have a lot of respect.
Hopefully, both males will enjoy today's challenging enrichment. The barrels have been secured. And with temperatures high, Sean has also thrown out some no-sugar frozen juice in plastic bottles to keep the chimps hydrated.
Go on then, boys!
The barrels have holes drilled into the sides, which should get the chimps thinking.
it's good if it's difficult. You know, we want to keep them busy. You know, they are incredibly intelligent, apart from Seamus. So it's nice to actually be, you know, testing their mental abilities and just keeping them occupied. So sometimes the harder it is, the better, really.
There's lots of excitement as the troop head off to discover what he's been up to and what interesting offerings he's left for them. The ice bottles immediately grab their attention, particularly Seamus. He's wily and has snaffled more than his fair share. Chimpanzees have powerful jaws, so ripping open the bottles isn't difficult. Demonstrated by Jester's half-brother Buxom, who quickly gets to the iced treat. A lot of chimps aren't keen on water. They don't swim naturally as their bodies aren't built for buoyancy, although in the wild they drink from rivers and pools. Most of the park's bachelor chimps won't go in the pond in their enclosure, but Mojo's spotted a floating bottle. At full stretch, he manages to grab it without getting too wet.
Everyone's just settling in, realising that it's not big bad things out there, that it's actually nice treats. Starting to explore the barrels a bit now.
Buxom's doing more than exploring. The clever chimp has pulled the plug out of the bottom of a barrel, manipulating it with his long, strong fingers and pulling out the browse. Jester's enjoying his ice bottle with no sign that the mass under his jaw is causing an issue. The barrels and ices have been a big hit, encouraging the chimps to work mentally and physically. The barrels will stay in place for the rest of the day and then be cleared away to be reused for future enrichment for the chimps. The last few months have brought a lot of changes for the park's lemurs. Ever since Alison collected 4 males from a private collection in Kettering, the primate care staff have been working on plans to integrate them with the park's existing troop. 3 of the 4 males are now living with the park's group of older males at Malagasy. The odd one out is Ben, father to the other newbies. He's missing a leg, and the team decided life in the trees of Malagasy would be too challenging for him. Instead, he moved to the Guenon house and was joined by female lemur Fennel. The pair have formed a strong bond.
We're happy with how those two have come together. They're really, really close. They're always sort of constantly sort of huddled up together. So considering that they're a pretty new pair and they are very supportive of each other. Fennel's far more sort of switched on and aware of everything that's going on, and obviously she's had a lot of change. Also Ben has, but he seems a little bit more just laid back about things, not as interested in everything. He's quite food focused, and yeah, so they're quite a nice match together.
The challenge for the primate care staff is deciding where the 2 lemurs should live. They've introduced them to the family of 3 Guenons, Ben, Nia and daughter Biff, attempting numerous individual computations to see if they could get along. It's not the first time the Guenons have lived with a different species. They previously shared their home with Patus monkey Mitza and elderly lemur George.
In captivity, mixed exhibits often are very successful, and it can provide quite a stimulating, enriching environment for them, so long as they're coexisting, peacefully with each other, and that nobody's feeling stressed with that kind of arrangement. So that's our main priority, that they can coexist nicely together, even if they need to sort of have evenings apart to eat their dinner and have a bit of time to settle with each other's friends.
But the energetic Guenons have proved to be a bit full-on, leaving Fennel and Ben a little unsure in their new surroundings. So today, the team are going to try a different approach. To begin with, they're going to let Biff out on her own with the 2 lemurs. They've filled the enclosure with camellia flowers and leaves, something they all love to eat and which might distract Biff, who may also be less confident and boisterous without her mum and dad by her side.
They're a bit mischievous, and I think that the lemurs are obviously pulling all of their attention at the moment, so we're hoping that the extra sort of enrichment in here will give them a bit more to think about.
Steph opens up, letting Biff out first. The young Guenon loves her food, so hopefully she'll head straight for the flowers and pay less attention to the 2 lemurs. It's going to plan. Biff can't resist the lure of the colourful flower and tucks in, while Fennel takes the opportunity to sneak out. She's soon followed by Ben, who, despite missing a leg, is pretty nimble. The two lemurs keep their distance, aware Biff is in the enclosure, but keeping well away, skirting around the edges. Ben takes a cautious look around before grabbing a camellia from the platform and heading away. But Fennel doesn't seem able to relax. She's continually on guard, looking out for a feisty guenon. Biff hasn't been taking any notice of the pair. Until now. She suddenly decides to give chase. The young guenon wants to have some fun and someone to play with. The more the lemurs run, the more fun it is, while also keeping them away from the tasty flowers. Neither Ben nor Fennel have shared space with another species before. They just want a quiet life. But Biff doesn't understand.
She doesn't want to challenge them, she doesn't want to attack or fight, it's just a bit of fun and game for her. And I think if they just kind of went, no, actually, this isn't happening, you're not going to chase us, then she would kind of go, okay, and back off and go off and probably carry on foraging and keeping herself busy.
Sharon gives the trio a while longer to work things out. But when Biff sets about Ben and Fennel once more, she calls time. It's back to the drawing board for the team, who need to come up with a new plan for a permanent home for the pair of lemurs. It's been almost 18 years since the park undertook one of the largest primate rescues in history. With the help of the Chilean Air Force, 88 capuchin monkeys being used in a laboratory for medical research were flown to Dorset.
Everybody's here, all 88. Fantastic.
They all survived the journey, but the huge task of settling them in was just the beginning.
It was quite a mission just to get them here, and then once they got here, the process of sorting them out was fairly epic, really, and 17 and a half years on, we are still sorting them out.
There were 4 other capuchins already at the park. Tom, TJ, Gizmo and Terry, all rescued from the British pet trade. 2 days later, Caesar and Phoebe arrived, also from the pet trade.
So at that point, we had 94 capuchins on the park, which was a lot of capuchins. There was capuchins everywhere, really.
The problem for the team was identifying each individual from Chile, giving them names, and then remembering them.
That's oh no, that's Kelly.
We had some notes from the lab, not greatly detailed notes. It was all in Spanish, so we had to try and translate that. All of them had tattoos. The youngsters were very good. You could easily read their tattoos. Most of them were on the inner thighs, but some of the older ones, the tattoos were down the stomach. Many of them were nervous of humans, understandably. They'd been taken from the wild, put in lab cages, so they were very wary and didn't want to show you anything, didn't want to show you, come close to you. We had to name most of them, a whole range of techniques we used for naming, grandparents, features, characters, all sorts of things we used in naming, and then we had to learn to ID them all. We've got 1 or 2 individuals that we still haven't read their tattoo number. Ginger, whose tattoo is actually unreadable under anaesthetic, so you can't definitively tell it's her, but looking at the pictures from the lab, Ginger's quite distinctive. And Scarlett's is on her right thigh, and no matter what I've tried for the last 15 years, Scarlett will not show you the inside of her right thigh. She's also very, very hairy, but again, you can identify a couple of numbers, and Scarlett's fairly obvious to pick out from her ID photos.
Putting the capuchins into groups was also challenging.
It's early days yet because everybody's so sort of freaked out by everything that's going on, including us, I might add, that they just don't really, nobody's going to be able to focus on any one person. There's just too much stuff to be messing with. My gosh, look at them all. Round one.
Determining what subspecies each was and where they came from was even more difficult.
We have notes on where the animals were taken from if they were from the wild, and a rough guess at the subspecies. From what we know from the lab notes, most of the dark females came from Brazil. A lot of the lighter females and males came from Argentina, although there were a group of blonde females that also came from Brazil, and the robustus were taken from Peru. So, yeah, those are the notes we got. Most of our capuchins, as far as we know, are brown or tufted capuchins. But again, there's been such a mix and match amongst them in the laboratory that some of them are a mixture of various different subspecies of capuchins, so it's very hard to tell. No one knows exactly what they are. It would be fascinating to do a DNA test on them all to see what it shows, but I'm not sure we'd have many purebred capuchin species here.
From those very first days, caring for the capuchins has been an ever-evolving process. There are now 61, split into 5 separate groups. An individual's status can rise and fall very quickly in capuchin society, so monitoring the social situation within each troop is important.
Being capuchins, fighting, squabbling and bickering is one of their favourite pastimes, so no matter what we did with them, somebody was always going to have an issue with someone else, even if it's just that they've looked at them wrong or walked past them and they felt that they were slighted in some way. So, yeah, it's an ever-evolving thing, the groups with these guys.
Almost 18 years on, the 5 troops are pretty settled, although numbers have declined.
Now, time naturally has passed and we've lost several of them now to old age, and it's an ongoing thing with this population. It is an ageing population. A third of our capuchins are 30 plus now, and the youngest now are Donnie and Fabian, and they're 19 now, so they're our youngest capuchins. So yeah, as time goes on, we're having to change the way we manage them, because when they arrived, the age range was sort of 2 to 30, and now, yeah, the oldest individual is Dottie, who we estimate to be 43. So, yeah, it's a different challenge for us now with the capuchins.
From the day the Chilean capuchins arrived, caring for them has been full on for the team, but Toby has loved every minute.
They're brilliant, they're great to work with. There's so many different characters, so many different personalities. Some of them have formed lifelong friendships, basically, like Abby and Marlowe have been together for years, and they're inseparable. And Ginger and Phoenix in the Capuchin Lodge have suddenly become our new friendship pair. Ginger moved there last year, and Phoenix has taken a real shine to her, and those two are inseparable most of the time. So it's really nice to see. It's really sweet to see these guys, even 17 and a half years after they arrived, how much things are changing, how much we're having to still adapt and change things. And yeah, everyone, well, capuchins will never get on with each other. There's always going to be someone you want to scream at and fall out with, but they're doing the best they can.
After a long, dry summer, many of the plants around the park have fruited earlier than usual. The gardening team have been busy harvesting blackberries, still attached to their spiky stalks. Marmosets Sid and Leo often miss out on this late summer treat because their outdoor enclosure doesn't have any brambles. So today, it's being decorated with the prickly stems. Leo is an interested onlooker.
So Sid and Leo are coming out to something a bit different this morning. So we've got lots of little strands of bramble with little blackberries on them in varying stages of ripeness, and we've got those hung up in the enclosure. So it'll be something new and interesting because they don't have any naturally growing in their enclosure. So hopefully it'll get their brains thinking a little bit, it'll get them moving as they sort of forage around and have a look. And hopefully that'll be a tasty thing for them when they find a nice ripe one.
With the enclosure all set, Steph lets the pair in.
There you are, buddy. What's going on?
Leo races out. He already knows there's something tasty and different waiting for him, and he's not disappointed. Although blackberries are not native to the Amazon basin, where the species originate, wild marmosets come across seasonal tasty foods throughout their home range. Mimicking this variation is an important part of keeping the park's primates happy and healthy. While Leo tucks in,
Sid, you gonna come and look?
Sid has yet to make her way out.
Hello, Pickle. There's stuff out here.
She's an elderly lady, thought to be more than 15 years old, and has poor eyesight and mobility.
Good girl.
After some encouragement from Steph, she works out there are treats available.
Yeah, she's eating one. She's got a blackberry.
Probably guided by her sense of smell, she finds the blackberry Steph left on the small platform to make it easier for her. Both marmosets tuck in. But Leo is more agile, moving around the enclosure to discover the berries still on the brambles. It's a far cry from when he arrived 9 years ago. Leo was brought to the park by the RSPCA. He was just over 4 months old and suffering from chronic rickets.
Come on, little man.
His bones were so fragile, the team worried even a small fall might result in a break. But with the right diet and vitamins, the primate care staff turned his life around.
At the stage when he was rescued, he couldn't actually walk, he couldn't move normally, he could just sort of shuffle along the floor on his belly because the bones had become so unstable. So yeah, he was a pretty tragic case, but luckily for him, because he was experiencing that when he was very young, we were able to turn it around, and as he grew with all the right nutrition, his bones became much tougher, he started growing normally, and now, apart from just a tiny bit of bunny hoppy movement from time to time, you can't really tell that that's how he started out. So he was very lucky we managed to get to him when we did.
Sid was also a pet trade marmoset, but was older when she arrived and not so lucky. Her body was, and still is, deformed from a lack of vitamin D3. The damage was already done before she arrived at the park, and too bad to reverse. The pair have been together now for just over a year and get on extremely well. The blackberries have certainly proved to be a hit with both marmosets and are something they can return to throughout the day. Next time on Monkey Life, Chimp Clin gets a manicure for safety rather than appearance.
It's quite important for her nails to be cut because with these guys they can potentially hurt each other with their nails.
And orangutan Kyan takes a giant ice lolly for a spin.